I'm going to show you how to make a coil and slab mandala. First, you're going to have a slab. You're going to use your rubber or metal rib and smooth out both sides of that. Compress that rib to make it stronger. You're going to take your template and trace it with either a needle tool or a cleanup tool. Remember, we're working on precision. And then you're going to use a fettling knife and cut that out. Next, you're going to take just a little bit of water on your finger and smooth out those edges so that they are not sharp. We just want to have them be a little bit smoother, but we don't want to be getting water all over our piece, just on those edges. You're going to start by tracing the center lines on your circle, both the vertical and the horizontal line. Then as you start building, you're going to work towards in the center and work outwards. So start in the middle and work out. So I've already traced on my horizontal and vertical line with a ruler. And now I'm just going to lay out my design. And this is sort of the steps I'm going to take for all of it. I'll lay out my design first. And you could even go through and just draw your design on with a needle tool. That gives you a little bit more of an opportunity to fix things, make sure you have it exactly the way you want it. So you can kind of almost trace it from your plan onto your clay. So now I have it all laid out the way I want. If I have any little cracks in my coils, I can fix those with just a little bit of water. Now I'm going to trace where I will score and slip. So I'm going around and tracing the outside or the inside of the pieces I've laid down. And then I'm going to score those all up. Really score well, get in there. I'm not going to score my coil on this one, so I want to make sure that my slab is scored really well. I'm using a paintbrush to add slip just because it's such a small area. And those paintbrushes can stay in your tool tub and then just need to be washed at the end of the period. I'm going to press that down gently, and I'm going to continue to do this all the way around. Now I'm going to go through and blend and smooth those joints on my edges to make sure that everything is fully attached and cleaned up. And the way I'm going to do this is with just a little bit of water and a paintbrush. I'm going to get that paintbrush wet with the water from my table and just go into those edges and blend like that clay and any little scratch marks that I had, kind of get those to go away. Using a paintbrush allows me to get into those tiny little crevices and cracks really easily. If you use a firmer paintbrush, that'll help too. I'm going to do that on the inside and outside of those edges. So I've done all that. I have two coils here. One I've done a little bit smaller or thinner, and that would work really well for things like spirals. A thicker one would work better for like bigger lines. So I'm going to show you how to make a spiral here. I'm taking my thinner coil, which I've rolled just a little bit more to make it thinner, and I'm going to make a spiral, kind of figure out where I want to put that. And again, I'm doing the same steps that I just did with the first pieces. I'm laying it out, I'm scoring and slipping, and attaching. With my spirals, I am going to score the actual spiral too, just to kind of help it stay on a little bit better. Now I'm going to keep going and do my other ones because I'm starting in the center and working my way out. So you can see I've done this. I've added some other pieces. I'm going to show you how to add pieces that might like overlap over the side of your mandala now. So I'm going to lay out all my pieces. And as I'm going to cut the edges to make sure that they're nice and precise right along the edge. So I'm using an X-Acto knife, but you can use a fettling knife. I'm just going right along that edge and making a nice cut so that it follows the line of my mandala. So I'll make it be a little bit longer and lay them out. And then I can give it like that nice cut that I need to have just to perfectly fit on there. And I've done this with all my other pieces so far. And I'm just going to continue doing this, laying out my design, moving it off to the side, and then coming back and scoring and attaching. Working from the inside out. And I'm laying it out so that I have the opportunity to like move things around a little if I need to. And then I'll go through and kind of blend everything, all my joints, make sure they're nicely attached. Once I'm done, I'm going to put the initials on the back, and then I'm going to make a spot for the nail to hang onto the wall. So I'm going to kind of hollow out a little like half circle, and I want the top to be flat, and then the bottom to be rounded. And this would allow the nail to kind of sit up at the top. I also want to make sure that it is right at the top of my piece and nicely centered. Once I get it kind of dug out there, so a nail would be able to stick in there on its side, then I will take just a little bit of water and smooth it out.